Okay, we're back. Part 2. Today's, no, 3-ball walk.
It's 3-ball.
3-ball walk.
Part 2.
Part 2.
The playoffs.
The playoffs.
The playoffs.
Strikeouts would have been more, or one was. New rule in baseball.
Well, no, not the new rule in baseball, but last night did you watch where you can review a foul tip if it's caught, but you can't review a swing and miss if they call a foul tip?
I didn't see that. I didn't realize. That's interesting.
Repeat that. Well, if a foul
right.
tip is caught,
If foul tip is called, then it's strike 3, right? You're out.
right? So why do you need to review it?
Because you can review if it hit the bat or not. Because if it didn't hit the bat and
It's
it's a
still
ball,
strike 3.
no, if it's a ball, it's a ball.
Oh, so it wasn't a swing,
It wasn't a swing. It was a check swing,
but it could have hit the bat.
but it could have hit the bat. Didn't. It was clearly not. But the catcher tried to sell it, which was, they didn't review it. But they could have reviewed that one. But prior to that, which actually cost them when got Bradley up to bat to keep the inning going, there was a swing on an 0-2 pitch that was down in the zone. The guy swung at the ball, clearly missed it, but the umpire called it a foul tip and it hit the ground, which kept his at bat going. He ultimately walked, went from 0-2, drew a walk, and then got Bradley up, which turned the lineup over. So that's not reviewable.
They can't review.
They can't review a swing and miss if it's called a foul tip, but you can review a foul tip that's caught for strike 3.
Interesting.
So if you're going to have the review for one, why can't you have the review for the other?
You can have a review on the home run if it was fan interference.
Home run, not home run. What do you think? My wife says it's a home run. She watched it. She said it was a home run.
My question is, I thought that my question is for Houston fans. The Chicago Cubs fans give Steve Bartman a lot of crap, and that guy took 2 runs off the board.
Well, Bartman got a ring, though, when they won. So does this guy get a ring if they win?
If they win, I think
Well,
he should get a ring.
here's
but my point is it
2
looked
runs off
like
the
it was
board.
state interference to me, because it looked like when he reached over, it looked like he closed his glove.
How do you take 2 runs off the board when the guy, his back is not even up against the wall? He's a step in front of the warning track. There's hands clearly
behind
over.
the wall. They were behind the wall.
There's some in front of the wall, and this guy's hands, you can't see if his hands are in front of the wall, but you can see that his hands are in front of the other dude's hands who are in front of the wall. Mm-hmm. So if the guy's is reaching out over the wall and my hands are farther than yours, there's no way my hands are not going to be interfered. And he was there.
He hit the glove. Now, I think, what's his name, their skipper?
Okora.
I think he had a good point, is that Mookie Betts is a great player, but you can't assume he's going to make that catch. Just because he has an opportunity to catch it, you can't assume that he's going to catch it. And that's what West told him, is he didn't have a chance to catch it and he was going to catch it. Well, you can't assume that he was going to catch it. He might have dropped it. It could have hit it off his glove.
If he's jumping at the wall, but he was in front of the...
See, here's the thing, though, right? If you're going to allow fans to be at the edge of the wall, and you're not going to build stadiums with a 2-foot barrier in between the wall and the seats, then that should not be fan interference, because...
But it's posted, don't interfere. But that doesn't do,
your natural reaction is what my wife said this morning. She's like, well, the natural reaction, how many times have you told me when we go to a ball game, always keep your eye on the ball and always try to catch it. Don't assume somebody else is going to catch the ball that's coming at you. So your natural reaction is to go get the ball. I don't care who you are. You're going to reach out to get it.
A ball that's still in play is not coming at you.
That ball was coming at that dude.
It was.
The ball was going to hit the dude right in the chest. If it's not caught by Betts.
Right.
It's out of the park.
And the guy to his left is the guy that came over and closed Betts' glove like that.
It's going to hit him in the chest if it clears the park and Betts doesn't get to it. Now, Betts might have got to it because he was really close. But he was only close. And it was still this far away from his glove. So did he have enough time to get there? Would he have gotten there? Would it hit off the tip of his glove? We'll never know. You know why we won't ever know? Because the fan interfered.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was the right call, but I think that call sucks.
Okay. So now it is the right call. And I think it was the right call.
It was the right call. I thought it was interference, but I think that call sucks. And the fact that if you're going to build a stadium where the fan can reach
Let's go
With-
on that
with
same game.
relative
I got
ease.
another question for you, and this is, and I know what the answer is because he made the catch, and of course you go for it. In that
Dive.
situation, do you dive?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a tie game. If you don't get it, it's a tie game. At best. At worst, it gets by you anyway.
If he dives, the game's on the line right there. It's either by you and 3-run score, or you catch it. And the game is over. Once he decided to dive, the game was
Once
over.
that ball was hit, the game was over.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right?
No, because you can one hop at 2 runs.
No, he
score.
could not have one-hopped it once the ball was hit because his trajectory to get to the ball was such that he could not have one-hopped that ball. If he didn't dive, he's not backhanding it. That ball's by him.
You don't go that trajectory. You
Right,
go to the right.
but
You
once-
take it on one hop
But once he made the first step to make that play,
because he decided he was going to go dive for it.
well, he decided he was going to get the ball. Right? He didn't decide he was going to dive as soon as the ball was hit. He decided he was going to dive when he got close enough to say, "I'm not going to get it." Right? Benintendi made the decision to go get it. As soon as the ball's off the bat, he's going to get it. Right? He's going to go try to get that ball, and then he decides, "Oh crap, I got to dive because I can't get there."
Well, at any time you stop and
He couldn't have. There's no way he could have stopped and turned and got to where the ball was. No way. He only took like 4 steps to get to the ball. It was a rocket. It's a bad luck rocket. I mean, you have duck farts that land out there.
I'll tell you
and
another
score 2
thing.
runs,
Bad
and then you
luck
hit that one.
rocket. We talk about bets, and with Yelich and all these guys and whatever. And I'm not saying Trout, but Alex, that dude's becoming the best player in baseball. I saw him make some plays at third base. I've seen him hit like nobody
who we
else.
talking about?
Bregman.
Bregman?
He's pretty good.
The best player in baseball?
Pretty
He
good.
is getting to the point, as young as he is, the dude is really
really good.
Watch right now. I'm telling him postseason 2018, and we'll talk during season 5, and we'll see where he's at because I've been watching him now for about 3 weeks.
Wait, you said season 5, so we've been picked up for 2 more years?
We did get renewed for 1 year.
Oh, good. All right, great. It's like,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. It's like, thank you, all 5
Well,
of you.
today we're brought to you by the Bible,
The Bible.
Okay.
which is
All right, so
But-
so you think he's the best
no.
player
I'm just
in
saying
baseball?
he's getting. I said I don't want to put that in there, and I don't want to mention the Trout and whatever. But I'm saying he is becoming that.
Are you
As
saying
far
he's
as
the
he
MVP
is,
of
I'll
this
tell you
series?
No,
George
what's
Springer's
his
been
face?
awfully tough.
Little, what's his face from South Carolina?
Altuve?
No,
Benintendi?
no, the dude that hit a grand slam to win 1 game and hit a home run again last
Jackie
night.
Jackie Bradley Jr.?
Jackie Bradley Jr. Isn't he from South Carolina?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
Yeah.
where he's from.
That 1 game when I went to Omaha, we lost because of him.
He's definitely. That's what I was
The
saying.
Gators World
he's
Series.
really good.
No, it's going to be Jackie Bradley. But I'm saying, but if you look at Bregman and you look at his hitting, you look at his deep, I'll tell you what, and this I will go, and you know me with superlatives, I don't use them. He is the most underrated 5-tool player in baseball.
Wow.
Wow. The most underrated
Five
five.
tools. What do you think?
How
Let
can
us
you
know.
underrate a 5-tool guy?
Because do people recognize the fact that he can do it all? He can run, he can play defense, he can throw, he hits for power, he hits for app. The dude is a stud.
Well, he's had a he definitely has had a postseason.
Yeah.
And he does it all the time. I start look. He does it all the time, and it's timely and whatever. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Watch. I say let's look at him in a
anybody-
couple years. I just want you to look at him in a couple years and tell me where he's
Is
at.
anybody that's in the big leagues and playing in the postseason right now not good?
Not like this guy.
Oh, so he's better than good.
He's better than good.
He's better than good because all those guys are good. All those guys are good.
He's better than good.
So does
Better
Houston,
than good.
does Houston come back and win it?
It's going to be tough.
No.
But I told you they'd win it, and you got Verlander tonight. Okay.
And Chris Sale won't be in until Game 6.
They're not going to win. I don't think they're going to win tonight. I think it closes out tonight
So it doesn't go in Houston.
in
In
Houston.
Houston, interesting. Yeah.
So they sweep them in Houston.
I can see that happening for sure. I mean,
Verlander.
even with Verlander.
Even with Verlander, I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a close. I think a lot depends on what happens in the first 3 innings. If it's close through 4, I think Boston
Both
wins.
those teams, it's kind of interesting. Milwaukee and Houston have been leading early in a lot of times, and then they just don't hold on. Even with Boston's closer, your Brave guy, I mean,
Yeah, he about
holy
gets-
smokes.
that guy's a dumpster fire when he comes in, man. He throws gasoline on top of it when he goes in, and then he puts it out.
Yeah, I don't get
sorry.
that at all. I think
the-
that when he was a rookie, I didn't get
Like the bird, man. He's like
Yeah.
the Birdman out there with his arm out, and his arm is shaking because you can see he's nervous because they got it. Who wouldn't be? But then he's throwing balls and putting people on. I mean, every game is like, okay, it's a heart attack if you're a Boston fan. You know, we
But he's been a good
Well, if you're a
closer
Houston
for them.
fan, you got a tie game or whatever, and then you start beaning everyone, being the bases loaded, being in a run, and then Bradley hits the grand slam. Well, guess what? If you don't bean the two guys before that,
it's never the home run that beats you. It's the walks in front of it.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Or the beans in
Or
this
the
case.
beans in this case, yeah.
Yep.
You can't if you put guys on. It's very difficult to hit a 4-run homer with nobody on.
It's impossible.
Just about.
Yeah.
It's almost unless you're playing
Words of wisdom from Three Ball Walk.
if you're playing backyard baseball and you got ghost runners, then it's possible.
Oh, you're right.
So, but
They don't allow ghost
don't
runners.
allow ghost runners in
the
major
major
leagues.
leagues.
No, you got to actually have a body out there.
Yeah.
Ghost runners.
Ghost runners, man. I'm telling you,
Runners.
the ghost runner scored a lot. Baby, he scores from second no matter what. A ground ball, a shortstop,
Always.
he scores. He never slows
See, we
up.
played because you had to have a real runner on first, and if he got the third, then the ghost runner. You had to force in ghost runners.
Well, we didn't have that many players. It was just two of us, just me and my buddy playing in the backyard. So
Also, they were all ghost
they were
runners.
all ghost runners, man.
Oh,
Once
no,
you-
we had you would have whoever the farthest back was a real runner, and then the ghost runners could only score if they were forced in,
yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't get multiple bases. You couldn't assume a double would score him.
unless the
Guy from first gets the
got
third.
the third.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, that could work. That could work. And then you got all right. Let's talk for a minute. Let's talk for a minute about Manny Machado.
Okay.
Manny Machado.
All right, couple of things. One, he does the interview where he says, "I'm not the type of player to be Johnny Hustle."
Cha-ching, money out of your pocket. I mean, you're an idiot for saying that this time of year.
He doesn't run out of ball. He gets called out about it.
And he admits when he sees himself do it.
He's like, I should have run harder. But I'm not gonna be that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of guy that you're gonna give franchise money to?
No.
Who says, I'm not Johnny Hustle kind of guy?
No. No.
If you're a GM,
That was idiotic.
Can I ask you something? Do you single in the 13th, get to second, and score from second on a single up the middle, a pretty hard hit ball to Yelich, and he's sliding into home right before the tag, and I saw the Dodgers piling on each other with the win,
Yeah.
and he was the guy that had scored the run.
okay?
That's true.
I saw him hit a home run that changed the game last night. Yes, is it going to hurt him? No. Bottom line
I think it
is,
does.
they say whatever they want to say. He will get a lot of money.
Here's the second thing that he said in that interview, which was telling to me. He's like, I came over here to the Dodgers, and it was like walking in a clubhouse, and there's all this history of all these players and championships. I'm like,
You were in Baltimore.
you were in Baltimore. What about Cal Ripken? What about Brooks Robinson?
Frank Robinson.
What about Frank Robinson?
They never played at Camden.
That's true. They never played at Camden, but there's history there.
There's history in the
The
franchise.
Royals are iconic.
He has been with the worst team in. I get it.
I
And
get
you're
what he,
right.
I get what he said.
has been with the worst team in baseball for the last 8 years.
But they were in the playoffs. They weren't the worst team in
They
baseball.
weren't the worst team in baseball. I forget
They-
what year it was.
3 years
With
ago,
him?
they were in the
Yeah, it was
playoffs
3 or
with
4 years
him.
ago, They
Yeah,
were in the playoffs.
they weren't the worst team in baseball until the last 2 years. Buck Showalter had them in the playoffs
I'll
every
tell
year.
you what, and it's interesting. I went from a very storied franchise, the Florida Marlins, to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, it's downhill from there.
And
Yeah, it's terrible.
and when you go to a school to talk to kids, okay, and it's one of the funny things. I go into the clubhouse and I'm asking Chef or I'm asking Edgar Renteria used to go to quite a few, or Castillo, or one of these guys. Hey, tomorrow morning or a week from Friday or whatever, we're going to such and such. Can you come with me for an hour? And we're going to talk to some kids about staying out off drugs and whatever. And they always volunteer, and you got players. The Dodger players never do that.
Really?
Isn't that interesting? The Dodger players, you never get them, not during the season. You do during the offseason, but not during the season. And that is because the Dodger Alumni Association has a list of about 50 guys, and if you want someone, Duke Snyder will do it, or Ron Say will do it, or Don Newcomb will do it, or something like that, and that's who's going. Well, guess what? the Marlins have no Don Newcombs and Ron Says
True.
and Davy Lopes or whoever to go and
Yeah,
make
exactly.
appearances, put on their Dodger uniform and whatever. And to my knowledge, the Dodgers are the only ones that have a monthly alumni newsletter that goes out to every person that has ever worn Dodgers. It is just something, that mystique and that aura of being an alumnus, and in
Yeah.
that stadium they do it like no other team. And I'm not, and I don't like the Dodgers. I'm
I get
rooting
it.
against.
I get it. I get that.
They have a history like no other besides those dudes that wear pinstripes
Yankees.
in New York.
I get that.
Only team that you can say
I
that.
get that, but you don't say that in an interview.
Right.
You don't say that in an interview. You say, "I'm honored to finally play with the Dodgers. It's been a dream of mine to play with the Dodger organization."
Yep.
But you don't leave your former organization in the dust
No.
by not recognizing their history, by saying, "Come over here with all these guys who are these stars."
He's
of the
not
league
an
best."
Oriole anymore.
Well, that's fine.
He's trying to make the
But he's
Dodger
go-
fans happy.
He's going to have to be somebody else in a few months, unless the Dodgers resign.
That one I have no. I see it because I saw
I think
it.
ultimately
It
cost him.
is so
I understand.
mystique. I mean, it really is.
My feeling is if you have a chance to make X number of dollars in the off season and you make that statement, to me, that's the kind of guy that I want on my team. I know what he did in the playoffs so far, but that seems to me that's trouble brewing it in a clubhouse.
Down the road,
Yeah, I just don't want that in my
And
team.
the other thing that's interesting, and
we got to go. We're
There
out.
you go.
no,
Yeah.
the other thing that's really interesting besides the alumni, which is, and it has changed because now everyone has academies and everything like that. But 15, 20 years ago, the only academy in the Dominican Republic was the Dodgers. They went in there and built their academies and whatever and did all that kind of stuff. And I remember, and you know him because he was one of your guys, played with the Brewers also, but Henry Blanco, backup catcher, he's the only guy that would catch Maddox there
Maddox,
for a
right.
while. Remember?
Yep.
Henry Blanco, great defensive catcher and everything. He was mired and stuck in the Dodgers farm system, not going anywhere, and he had an opportunity to go become a free agent. But every person in Latin America in the 1980s, 90s, and up until about 2000, 2005, their dream was to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Sure.
And that was the only. And if you didn't play with the Dodgers, I don't care. That's where. And him being signed by another team means he didn't make it to the Dodgers because everyone at home follows the Dodgers, and that's
That's
what
one team, yeah.
in the Dominican. And that's and so that history for Machado. Totally understandable.
Well, got
You know,
it. But you just
playing in LA.
I understand.
I'm with you.
I think those two statements together cost him some money.
I do
It
too.
may not be a lot, but it cost him from some teams who are going to look at him and go, "That's not going to be the face of our franchise."
Right.
No matter how good he is. So we'll see. He'll still gonna get paid. He ain't got to worry about him. He ain't gonna be eating ham
We're
and
not
eggs.
gonna have.
He ain't gonna be eating ham and eggs next week. No,
He won't be out of a job, so we can
No.
bring him here. Weren't we
Yeah, no.
supposed to have Bud Selig this week?
He did. He couldn't make it. He canceled on us. Hey, we'll see you guys next week. We'll talk about the end of
A
the World
lot of betting
Series.
for you.